Okay, we're going to finish up. We're going to continue finishing up with the last bit of the first section of the book, Kennedy and Trump. Let's roll right into it. Just check my audio, make sure camera is okay, microphone looks good. Let's do this. Only a few more pages here to go. The debate fallout. Strange things happen in big time politics, President Trump posted on Truth Social. And believe me, this is big time politics. During my debate on Thursday night with crooked Joe Biden, the worst president in the history of our country, and the person that is illegally and strictly for political gain trying to put me in jail, I watched a man firsthand choke under tremendous pressure, the likes of which he has never seen before. The strain of the illegality being used by his Injustice Department, the FBI, local attorney generals, and DAs have put an additional strain on him. Fake news CNN just announced that 51,300,000 viewers. It was the highest rated show in the history of CNN. And that doesn't include other places it was shown. This was a monster show, and it could be plainly and openly felt on stage. His speech on Friday was better, and he seemed to be coming out of his trance, but America must ask itself, with all of the many dangers around, do we really want a president who chokes? I don't think so. As I walked up the stage on Thursday night, wrote Trump, at the end of the highly anticipated debate, anchors, political reporters, and all screamed that I had had the greatest debate performance in the long and storied history of presidential debates. They all said effectively, Trump was fantastic. This theme was universal, even at CNN and MSDNC. But by Friday evening, it was all about the poor performance of Crooked Joe, and not so much about how well I did. Oh well, that's the way it is, but importantly, the results is the same. I thought it was troubling, Kennedy said about this debate. They weren't talking about any of the issues that I'm seeing Americans concerned with. A $34 trillion debt that is existential. In 5 years, 50 cents out of every dollar we collect in taxes is going to go to that debt, unraveling the corporate merger of state and corporate power, the chronic disease epidemic which now affects 60% of our children, this toxic polarization that is tearing our country apart, all of these things. Nobody asked about how we can end these things. How are we going to get our kids into houses? Soon after Kennedy's interview, Trump asked a question on Truth Social. Why is Fox News putting on super liberal RFK Jr.? They just don't get it and never will. On July 1st, 2024, Kennedy posted an astonishing 51% of voters now identify as independent. If they were a party, they would outnumber Democrats and Republicans combined. Having no party and no leader, normally they default to one of the two mainstream parties. But this year is different. That same day, Trump bragged about CNN's 51.3 million people who watched the debate and 30 plus million online, the most in their history. Congratulations. Trump is used to making history. It's nice to see him share the glory with one of his most vocal critics, CNN. The first presidential debate can be watched with or without Kennedy's participation. Though Kennedy was not allowed to stand next to Trump and Biden on the debate stage, the independent presidential candidate found a creative way to insert himself into the historic event. As the debate with Trump and Biden happened in real time, Kennedy offered the public a live stream version with his inclusion. I can happily say I have never seen the full version of the debate without Kennedy's comments. That's still true today. Kennedy was interviewed after the debate and corrected the interviewer for questioning his eligibility for the first debate. We actually did qualify for this debate, said Kennedy. We were in 5 polls, including one by CNN, that had me over 15%. Kennedy stated CNN arbitrarily disregarded a Monmouth poll, even though it had me at 17%. CNN did not want me on the stage, Kennedy continued. They made an agreement with the Biden and Trump staff to keep me off the stage. I was the only one who qualified, even slightly, for being on the ballot in enough states to get 270 electoral votes. Kennedy also reminded the interviewer that Trump and Biden are not on the ballot in any state, and they are not the nominees of their parties. Since Biden and Trump had not been officially nominated by their parties yet, their names could not appear on any state ballots. Those stipulations did not apply to Kennedy. While Kennedy was gaining momentum in the race to the White House, so was Trump. The opposition failed to keep Kennedy and Trump out of the 2024 presidential election. The censorship against Kennedy and Trump was a failure. The lawfare against Trump wasn't working. The legal battles against Kennedy only prolonged his goal to get on the ballot in all 50 states. The smear campaigns against both candidates weren't working. There was nothing that could stop Trump or Kennedy from returning to the White House, except the unthinkable. Several people tried to get close enough to Kennedy to do him harm. Surely the same couldn't happen with President Trump. Unlike Kennedy, Trump had Secret Service protection. How could someone possibly get close enough to Trump to try and do him harm? As you might imagine, that will bring us into part 2 of the book, Fight, Fight, Fight. And who would have known? Who would have guessed what would happen next? I'll save that for next time, good people. God bless you all. Just wanted to get that out there. We will now begin reading through part 2 of the book, Kennedy and Trump. Part 2 is called Fight, Fight, Fight. All right. Until next time, God bless you all. Have a great day. Have a great weekend. Happy 4th of July.